It's the next day, but you're doing something under there. Tell us what's going on.
Well, it's the next day, and yesterday after that long sail, I noticed the steering was a little stiff, or didn't feel quite right. So we hauled everything out of the lazarette here, and I'm inspecting it. So, and there was a couple little nuts that were loose that go up through to the emergency tiller, so tighten those. But just wanted to inspect the cables, make sure they're okay, and it did feel fine after. It was just for a little bit that it felt a little bit off, and everything looks okay. So we've tightened a couple things and everything looks greased. The cables look like they're the right tension, and now I gotta get out of here somehow. So I've been in the deepest lowest point of the boat here, or most awkward spot to get to, and it's blowing northwest again, so that's good for us. We're still trying to decide where we're going next, but good anchorage here. We, good holding for us, and not a lot of boats, but I think it gets busier in the summer at Rebecca Spit. Not that we've really had time to enjoy it. We got here in the dark, and since I got up this morning, I wanted to address this before we even moved again, and or at least just make sure it's all okay, and it looks good. And we tightened those couple things, but kind of awkward, it's like one arm over the back of your head, one arm up over the other side, and anyways, got that sorted out. Alright, so now that that's done, we are going to just put all this stuff back into the lazarette here, and then I think we'll take a closer look at that route, or our options for where we might go. We were thinking either Tribune Bay on Hornby Island, which goes down the Vancouver Island side, or we were thinking Lasqueti, which is an island between Texada and Vancouver Island, or Pender Harbor, which was the furthest, but it puts us on the mainland side and closest for the next couple days, or the next few days to get down to Vancouver. So I think we'll discuss that over breakfast after we get all this put away.
And it's sunny and warm.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day out. So we've got everything stowed and
Yep, put away.
What's your mood today?
It's great.
Oh.
It is sunny, blue skies. You may think that the hat means that you shouldn't talk to me or to leave me alone or to be extra nice to me today, but it's really a joke between friends. And so I was gifted this hat and the Bitch of the Day award, and so I wear it proudly for doing nice things.
So I don't have to worry.
You don't have to worry
About watching what I say today. I mean,
I hope this makes you laugh and smile.
There's a big smile on my face.
Yeah. A lot of seaweed on there. behind you. Where are you now?
We are steaming south in the Strait of Georgia. So I guess I forgot to mention that we're officially out of the Inside Passage. I think that sort of ends around as you exit Campbell River. And now we're in the Strait of Georgia, so it opens up to various opportunities to go to the Vancouver Island side or to Desolation Sound, which is on the mainland side, or go down Malaspina Strait, I think it's called. That's where we're going to go. To Pender Harbor, that's on the Sunshine Coast, and which is the mainland of British Columbia. The wind is just starting to pick up now, so we're kind of monitoring it, whether we can set the sails. One thing we haven't done yet, which was good yesterday, was we still have our working jib on for the head sail, and with this light wind it wouldn't be super effective because I'd rather have the Genoa up, but it's easier to fold it up on a dock. But I'm glad that we didn't do that at Lagoon Cove because we would have had too much sail up yesterday in that gale. So we're just monitoring, seeing if it will pick up a little. It's kind of 5 to 15 and variable. It's not a lot of wind really right now. It's a beautiful day out, so we can't complain about that. And we have, once I routed it out to Pender Harbor, it's 56 miles, so not a short day again. We were kind of hoping for shorter days as we get closer to Vancouver. But, yeah, no complaints. Bit of a sleep in. We got the steering issue sorted out. It wasn't really an issue, but something just to check over. Oh, and we topped up with fuel with our jerry cans for the first time since Port Hardy. So I don't know the mileage of that, but Port Hardy to here is a long ways. And we just topped up with one jerry can and most of the second one. And yeah, so we're down to, I don't want to end up in Vancouver and then have the boat sit there and have jerry cans full of gas or diesel. So I do want to use those up anyways. So I've got a little bit left in one of them. And we'll be fine now from here to Vancouver. And looking forward to getting to Pender Harbor. It's a beautiful day out, but the wind is a little brisk. It's still, well, it's solstice today.
Yep.
June 21st. So happy solstice to everyone out there. Longest day of the year.
And happy Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yes, that's right. There's some big events happening up in the Northwest Territories right now for that, and all over the world. And I couldn't think of a better spot to be actually right now than celebrating solstice in the Strait of Georgia on a beautiful day with Devlin and moonshine.
Okay, you stopped for the night. Tell us where you made it to.
Well, we never made it to Pender Harbor. There was just too much wind against us, too much current against us, and too much wave chop against us. And actually there wasn't enough wind. If there was more wind, we could sail a little more effectively, but it's hard to sail in
in that amount of wind with the working jib, upwind, with that amount of chop. It just, I think there's a real swell that built up over the day, and probably because of all the current that's in there, it makes it worse. We had only just 12 miles left to go, so it wasn't that long or far, but we wouldn't get there before dark, so we decided to look at our other options, which I had been looking at a couple hours before. So we're in Thunder Bay, not Thunder Bay, Ontario. The bay that we anchored in is called Thunder Bay. So a little disheartening, but that we couldn't get there. But you know, we still did over 50 miles. It was 51 miles that we did. We got out the sailing directions. This is the book I follow, or I have all the volumes on the boat, and there's 4 volumes that cover the entire BC coast. So I had Devlin look up Thunder Bay. I said this is possibly an option. We're right at the start of Jervis Inlet. It's a pretty deep anchorage. It drops off really quick. So we're in 70 feet of water now, and just not very far out here, it's 130 feet. So, and then it drops off even more. So that's what happened today. But we still made it a long ways. But I didn't want to be going in to Pender Harbor in the dark. There's a lot of little turns you have to make because there's little islands and rocks. And also, if we got in there in the dark, there's not 100% guarantee there's space at the rowing club dock. I think it was a good decision. We didn't have to anchor in the dark like last night, and it's really common here. The winds are variable tonight, so that means nothing really. And then they're going to pick up again tomorrow, 10 to 20 southeast, so that's on our nose. But we're going to work the tide tomorrow more in our favor by catching the ebb, which streams south. And there's a couple spots where it's 2 and 3 knot currents at the max, so that should help us. Because we ended up motoring a bit more than we wanted to today, we may stop in at Pender Harbor and just top up the main tank, but we could easily make it to Vancouver. I guess I'm just being overcautious and thinking that you get these things while you can. But since we have to go right past Pender Harbor on our way, so it'll just take a few minutes to pop in there and get the fuel and go. Like I say, we probably don't even need to do it. But Devlin's never been to Pender Harbor, so we at least have to go in and look and do a circle around the harbor anyways. So if we're going to do that, maybe we'll stop. Maybe we'll be early. I was going to say maybe get an ice cream, but I haven't had ice cream for a while.
No.
Anyways, I think this is going to be our spot for the night. I don't know what the bottom's like for sure, because I haven't pulled the anchor yet, but deep here, but it's not another 3 or 4 hours of pounding those waves and somewhere in the dark where we don't know for sure if we have a space at the dock.